Getting a letter from the IRS that you owe back taxes can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. Call Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040 today. We'll help stop garnishments, levies, and seizures immediately. With over 35 years of dealing directly with the IRS, our team of local professionals will help you pay the least amount possible. So if you owe back taxes to the IRS, you need help. Call the tax professionals at Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040. Your go-to tax relief.
Looking to get some keys made, locks rekeyed, or a wide variety of new and used safe? Then look no further than the trusted choice of Alfred Safe and Lock, conveniently located off of Government Street in Mid-City, Baton Rouge. Trust the expert locksmith at Alfred for all of your residential, commercial, and industrial lock and safe needs. Trusted by Baton Rouge and me, Roger Cador, to protect what is yours since 1946.
Some Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge. Some don't. The ones that do know BTR is all about being closer, more convenient, with non-stops and short hops to anywhere their business takes them. They also know not flying BTR means more traffic, longer lines, and wasted time. So if it's about going from driveway to runway with a lot less highway, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport. It's about time.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Clarence Muggs along with the rejuvenated Coach Cador. Coach, hadn't seen you since Mardi Gras. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing better.
All right. Well,
now that the show is about to start.
Yeah, there you go. We start this week as usual, talking about LSU basketball. Dropped the road game to Florida, but they pick up win number 20 over Texas A&M. Skylar Mays continues solid performances. 24 points. 4 3-pointers, 6 of 6 from the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. That's a solid all-around performance, Coach.
Yeah, that's very solid. And I tell you, when you get that kind of play, usually your team is going to win. Mm-hmm. And him being a leader, he's done a really good job this year.
Well, we have some video from the A&M game, so we will ask the guys in the truck if they will be so kind as to roll that video. This is just the third time in 27 seasons that the Tigers have had back-to-back 20-win seasons. That says a lot about Will Wade and the kids buying into what he's selling, Coach.
And it tells you how difficult it is to win 20 games. Mm-hmm. Because Dale Brown, for many years, had really good teams and he couldn't do it.
Coach, now, when you only have 4 turnovers, as the Tigers did for the entire game, that also helps. But that shows a ton of focus, doesn't it?
Yeah, it shows the concentration, buying in and not trying to do too much. And when kids don't try to do too much, they easily do the things that the coaches want them to do.
And again, the LSU basketball team got great play off the bench. Something that you've got to have in the month of March, right?
Well, you got to have it all the time. Yeah. Not just the month of March has more significance because it's March Madness,
right?
And you're getting ready for the playoff and trying to go deep into the playoff.
Well, hopefully that will be just the case this year, and we will be rooting the Tigers all the way from there. Now, at halftime of this particular game, there was a very special ceremony. Chris Jackson, a.k.a. Mahmoud Abdul Rauf's jersey was retired. That's been a long time in coming, Coach.
I tell you, it was a long time. He played with Shaq way back in the days.
Right.
And that's when Dale Brown had all those talented players,
Mm-hmm. It's as though you read my script. Dale Brown, Bob Pettit, Pete Maravich's wife Jackie, Rudy Macklin, some other players all joined in this celebration for the ceremony. That in itself says a whole lot, Coach.
It says a lot. I mean, it's always good when great players come back to honor one of theirs, and it gives the fans to let them know a little about the history, because young people don't know the history.
That's right. Will we ever see another freshman scoring 30 points a game, Coach?
Never say never, but because the way things are structured now, coaches aren't going to let that happen. Mm-hmm. They have, they're playing a system, and they try to distribute the ball evenly.
Yeah. Abdul Rauf turns 51 this month and just signed for another season with the Big Three League. That's amazing, Coach.
Sound like you, Clarence.
Yeah, right.
You and him will be playing guard. You're the shooting guard.
Yeah, right. At 51, still going strong. Wow. When we come back, we'll switch gears from hoops to baseball on this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Stay close.
Break out of the chaos.
Hi, folks. Clarence Buggs here. Coach Roger Cador would take the time to tell you how to catch our brand new show, The Roger Cador Show. But as you can see, he's kind of busy right now out at Scoreboards, Baton Rouge's newest sports grill with food that is absolutely amazing. Catch the show 8 o'clock Tuesday nights, 6:30 p.m. on Wednesdays, and on Pelican Television's YouTube channel as well. You want to come out and have a great time. It's awesome, isn't it, Coach? Mm-hmm. Told you.
Hello, guys. It's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Welcome back for segment 2 of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Clarence Buggs and the coach out at Scoreboards, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Coach, let's switch gears from the hardwood to the diamond. Baseball Tigers in Houston taking on Texas, Oklahoma, and Baylor in the Shriners Classic in Minute Maid Park. Game 1, Tigers get a little payback against Texas, a team that swept them last year. Do you erase a lot of that memory, beating a team one time that swept you the year before?
Well, I don't know how many kids remember that. Mm-hmm. It's, I think Paul has a lot of new players.
Right.
So it's not that important to pay back because it's not a rivalry.
Right.
You know, it's a team that they play each other every now and then. So I don't think it's that big of an issue.
Of course, now when your pitching staff registers 16 strikeouts, that helps your cause.
Oh, it helps. That means with 29s out, 13, well, they only got 13 at bat.
Right.
To do something with.
The Tigers had a 4-0 lead against Baylor, but they failed to capitalize on opportunities to add more runs in that particular outing. And unfortunately, Baylor came back, used the long ball, 3 home runs to snatch out the win.
Yeah, Baylor did a good job of playing good ball late. LSU didn't close out the game with their bullpen. And I'm sure, Paul, that's one of the things that he'll be working on, trying to make sure he finds someone from the 7th through the 9th that can put the games away.
Now, in the final game against Oklahoma, and we'll see the video from that momentarily, LSU was no hit for the first time in program history. That was one heck of a pitcher's duel between Acker and Labas.
Well, I think both pitchers went deep into the game,
yes,
each with a no-hitter.
Yes.
So it was a great game for people who are novelists, who love great pitching game. And then, you know, LSU lost it 1-0.
Yeah.
But I think that's one of those games for the years to come. Mm-hmm. We'll say what a great game it was.
How hard is it to no-hit a team at this level of baseball, Coach?
Well, it's a lot easier now than it was 15 years ago.
How so?
Because of the bat. You know, the bat is not as don't have the same life that it used to have. You know, so they deaden the bat a lot, so it's a lot easier to pitch a no-hitter now. That's why you got more low-scoring games now than you had 15 years ago.
And what was the rationale behind that?
Well, the bat was too live, too many home runs, too many high-scoring games.
But I thought we as Americans, we love scoring.
Well, maybe we do, but they didn't love it, and the NCAA didn't love it. The NCAA hurt the game when they killed the ball so much. It hurt the game, the quality of the game. So, you know, but you know what? Gradually they put a little more life in the bat, but, you know, it's nowhere near. And I wish we could play with wood, but that'll never happen.
No.
Just too expensive.
Yeah. So what do you tell your pitcher who throws a one-hitter and loses the game?
You did your job. There's nothing else you can tell a kid other than you did your job. We just didn't score any runs.
I noticed that Paul Mainieri talked about the difference in the ball carrying in Minute Maid Park when the roof is open as opposed to when the roof is closed. Us lay people who've never played the game at that level, we would have no idea that it would make that big a difference whether the roof is open or whether it's closed.
Well, it makes a difference because when it's closed, the ball, everything is there. You're playing with that. Now, when you open it, there's a current that can get in and help carries the ball.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, you know. Well, but that is a huge difference. And I've heard the guys who play in the big league talk about the difference when the roof is open and when it's closed.
Paul Mainieri revamped the lineup last week, looking for more offense at the plate. How long usually does it take that to gel, or does it depend on the team and the makeup of the personnel?
It tells me he's got a problem offensively. When you got to keep juggling the lineup to find a combination, it just says that we have problems finding offense. And this could go a long time because, you know, pretty soon he'll be in conference play.
Right.
And he's got to try and find the right combination from the top to the middle to the bottom.
Well, we believe in you, Paul, and we believe in the team, and we're sure that you guys are going to get her done. When we come back, we'll hit across town and talk a bit about what's going on the Bluffs when we come back for segment 3 of the Roger Cador Show. Stay close.
Ooh, this cookie. Looking to get some keys made, locks rekeyed, or a wide variety of new and used safe? Then look no further than the trusted choice of Alfred Safe and Lock. Conveniently located off of Government Street in Mid-City, Baton Rouge. Trust the expert locksmith at Alfred for all of your residential, commercial, and industrial lock and safe needs. Trusted by Baton Rouge and me, Roger Cador, to protect what is yours since 1946.
Break out of the chaos.
Getting a letter from the IRS that you owe back taxes can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. Call Go Tax Resolution in Mandeville at 985-722-1040 today. We'll help stop garnishments, levies, and seizures immediately. With over 35 years of dealing directly with the IRS, our team of local professionals will help you pay the least amount possible. So if you owe back taxes to the IRS, you need help. Call the tax professionals at Go Tax Resolution in Mandeville at 985-722-1040. Your go-to tax relief.
Welcome back for segment 3 of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. We are at Scoreboards 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Had a little bit of a brain freeze there, where we record the show each and every Tuesday. Coach, over at Southern, the basketball Jags beat Alcorn for the second time this season, 71-57 at Alcorn. The Jags outscored Alcorn 38-14 in the paint. That makes it a whole lot easier to win a game, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, because you're closer to the basket.
That's right.
You know, there it is. That percentage says if you're going to shoot the shots in the lane, you're going to beat them most of the time.
beating a team twice in one season, particularly in basketball where you only play them twice, how tough is that as opposed, say, to baseball?
Well, it all depends on the matchup with the talent. I mean, if you're more talented and you do things better than the other team, it's not that difficult.
Right.
So, but when it's evenly matched and everybody play relatively good, then you can split home and away.
You talk about making it easier to win. Once again, the Jags had a balanced attack. 8 different players scoring at least 6 points, outscoring Alcorn's bench 33-6.
That's a lot of scoring. When you talk about that's about what, 27?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a lot of different points off of the bench, and that Alcorn didn't get.
Southern is now 11-5 in conference play, ready to make a run in the conference tournament. I will be the first to admit, the way the season started, I did not see Southern sitting in a solid third place in the conference right now.
Well, I thought maybe they could, but they had to play together because he was bringing in some new players to the team.
Right.
And I thought if he could mesh them, Jeremy had a chance because he had size.
Right.
And they were able to do that, put this thing together and make a late run. Now, the key is, what can they do in the tournament if they can keep getting better in the tournament play?
You always talk about young people these days and the difference in coaching strategies and how to get them to play together. How big a job was that with new kids, new coach, trying to get them to buy into what you're doing?
And not only that, a couple of them were seniors.
Right.
Because guys said, I'm playing for myself, man.
Right.
I'm playing for the pros.
Right.
That's the toughest thing. So Coach obviously did a good job. Selling them on winning is the best formula for people looking at you.
Now, we also need to address the fans' role in all of this. When we pack the Mini Dome on a regular basis, it makes it a lot easier to recruit. It makes it easier to recruit better talent. And we always talk about winning will cure a lot of things, but you also, from a fan standpoint, have to do your part to help them win, don't you?
Oh yeah, fans play a key part in the success of athletic programs because, as I've always said, the university belongs to that community.
Right.
And the community must embrace it, should embrace it, need to, in order for them to feel love and play hard.
All right, let's switch sports on the Bluffs, over on the baseball diamond. Jaguars, in their first conference series of the season, swept Prairie View. And how important is that first conference series of the season?
Well, you want to always win, Clarence. And they were able to do it even though it was against Prairie View, who is at the bottom of the league in the Western Division. But still, they were playing at Prairie View, and they always sometimes can be difficult to win.
Right. You talk about the fact that Prairie View is at the bottom of the conference. We have a graphic from the Sunday game that may in fact show you one of two things. Either how good Southern is or how bad Prairie View is. The championship game on Sunday to sweep them, 20-0, the final score.
And the pitcher pitched a 7-inning no-hitter.
Right.
So there were 2 no-hitters 45 miles apart in Houston, Texas. Houston at LSU and at Prairie View.
Right.
No hit. So, it was a great day for baseball for Southern and 20. Well, it tells me Prairie View is pretty bad if they score 20 points.
Yeah.
I mean, 20 runs or so. But Southern now will play Arkansas Pine Bluff, I think, next. They're off this weekend. They got a bye, and I think they're playing Tulane. So we'll see what happens.
After 11 road games to start the season, how good do you think it'll be for the team to finally get to play a game at home?
Well, I applaud Coach for doing it because me knowing the field the way I know it, when it rains, it's hard to play there during this time of year.
Right.
Because of the field conditions. So it helped him to play on the road. He built cohesiveness, find out what kind of team he's got. So now that he's coming home, it should be a lot better.
When you say build cohesiveness, is that because When you're on the road, you're in that, quote, foreign environment. It's us against the world. You're spending nights with teammates and roommates and the like, and you build that sort of camaraderie that you wouldn't get at home, where when practice is over, everybody kind of goes their separate ways.
That's right, and you get close on the road, but the key is you don't have the big support on the road. You got to pull for each other.
Right.
And do little things to help each other out, so that's usually help make a team better.
Is baseball harder to win on the road than any other sport, say football, basketball, or are they all pretty much about the same?
It's almost the same. It's all about the players. If you got good pitching, if you have whatever it takes to win a game, pitching and defense usually the two key you want to have. If you got those things working, you're going to win your share of games on the road.
Well, hopefully when the Jaguar baseballers return to Lee Hines Field, they'll look up and wonder what in the world is going on, because it'll be a standing room only crowd at Lee Hines Field. When we come back, we move to segment 4 of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Stay close.
Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg, we just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi folks, Clarence Buggs here. Coach Roger Cador would take the time to tell you how to catch our brand new show, The Roger Cador Show, but as you can see, he's kind of busy right now out at Scoreboards, Baton Rouge's newest sports grill with food that is absolutely amazing. Catch the show 8 o'clock Tuesday nights, 6:30 p.m. on Wednesdays, and on Pelican Television's YouTube channel as well. You want to come out and have a great time. It's awesome, isn't it, Coach? Told you. Welcome back for the final segment of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Clarence Buggs and the coach out at Scoreboards, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Coach, something we don't talk a whole lot about on the show, and maybe we need to start talking a little bit more about this, because right now, as we'll put up a graphic, LSU beach volleyball taking on the #1 team in all of America, defeats UCLA. Is this another example of how a school's culture of winning bleeds over to all sports?
Probably. I mean, I didn't even know they played beach volleyball. And beat they were #2 going into this match in the country, and beat #1 UCLA. Well, I've been living with my head in the sand. Literally.
Good one. I love it. I love it. Got it? Beach volleyball in the sand. I love it.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry, LSU. I should have known y'all played beach volleyball.
When you have 2,400 people showed up for this match, when you fill the PMAC for gymnastics, women's volleyball, women's basketball, when you regularly sell out Tiger Park for softball, you all of a sudden start to realize LSU is doing a heck of a job with their women's sports.
You forgot track and field. Which is probably that better sport.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, LSU is a member of the SEC, and they realize they have to compete at a higher level.
Yeah.
They hire the best coach, they pay them well, and they recruit the best student athletes.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons they are who they are.
So what can you take from that and apply to a conference like the Southwestern Athletic Conference that doesn't have the wealth of resources that an LSU or an SEC would have?
Well, you only could do what you can do in the SWAC. Is that, you know, most schools just want you to have a team so they could stay at the D1 level.
Right.
Just field a team and go play.
Right.
They're not interested in winning per se. They're more interested in fielding a team.
Right.
Where there is one or two schools who do have the interest of winning. They want to win. They just don't want to put a team out there.
Right. Now, does reaching out to the community and strengthening that bond with the community around a SWAC university, can that help elevate the program as well?
It could. You never know until you try.
Right.
You know, my thing is you have to try and fail. And I had a big saying, you're going to fail a lot, but the next time you fail, you're just that much closer to winning or succeeding. So failure is a highway to success.
You, I noticed in your days of coaching, particularly at Southern, there was in the outfield any number of businesses that bought into what Roger Cador was doing. Is that something that we have to do a better job of in the SWAC in order to be more competitive?
A lot of work. Nobody, coaches said they don't pay me enough to do that.
Right.
You know, it's a lot of work. People, again.
So why did you do it?
Because it needed to be done. If I was going to be successful, I knew the university was not going to give me the finances to do it.
They didn't have it.
They didn't have it.
Right.
And so I went out and created a situation where I raised my own money and was able to do it. And then we were able to take, I'll never forget, I know we're running out of time.
We're good.
Years ago, I'd asked when Marina Casson was AD, I said, give me $5,000 more and I'll take the baseball program to a different level.
Right.
And he laughed at me and said, yeah, you might, but it's going to create problems for me with the money coaches.
Wow.
And he was right. He was right. If he give me money, they're going to want money.
Right.
So he allowed me the opportunity to go raise my own money.
Wow, and that's why he's the godfather. Before we get out of here, got to say a very special tip of the hat to U-High, the boys and the girls soccer teams, winning state championships recently, this past weekend. As a matter of fact, both teams beat the top seeds in the state. The boys claiming their state championship title. It is the second consecutive. For the ladies, it is their third since 2015. Heck of a job, U-High. Way to go bringing the gold of a state championship back to Baton Rouge. On behalf of the coach and the crew, I'm Clarence Buggs, and we will see you next week with another edition of the Roger Cador Show. We'll see you then.